Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and in this episode we are in the Z46 and this is going to be a very close battle, as you will see. We are currently playing on Sleeping Giant and we have a Yamato FGG, Alabama, Richelieu, Roma, Minotaur, St. Louis, Rune, Prince Eugen, Gearing, Yu Yang, and a Z46. On the enemy team, there is a Conqueror, Missouri, North Carolina, Richelieu, Tirpitz, Hindenburg, Donskoy, New Orleans, two New Orleans, Prince Eugen, and Shimikaze, and a Yu Yang. Now, I am joined with two of my clanmates. We have Ski in the St. Louis, and we have Ian in the Rune. Now, I am the Z46, and I love this ship. It's definitely by far one of my more favorite tier 9s besides Neptune. Maybe, well, I prefer it over the Fletcher. I know that is heresy. Get the pitchforks in, torches. But I do prefer the Z46 over the Neptune, or over the Fletcher, quite a bit. Now, keep an eye on this Minotaur. We're going to see something rather bit interesting. He's actually going to play an important role later in this game. So, going to currently try to capture C. Now, I did drop torpedoes. Z46 is really good as far as its torpedoes are very fast reloading. They don't do as much damage as the Fletcher, and that's probably why a lot of people prefer the Fletcher over the Z46, because it does actually very significant amount of damage with its torpedoes. But with the Z46, it has very fast reloading torpedoes. As you see, my torpedoes are now back up and ready to be used, and that's one thing I do like about the Z46. So we are starting to push into CCAP, and we are gonna try to capture. It does look like our team has at least captured A, which is very nice, but the enemy Missouri has started to radar. So right now I'm gonna definitely try to get behind this island, away from any possible shots from the north. But honestly, I think we're gonna be safe. I don't think the enemy team is actually really north of C. I think they're focusing over at A, which is going to prove very interesting. I'm going to talk about the A-Cap in Sleeping Giants in a moment, because especially if you play Clan Wars, you know a lot about that A-Cap. That A-Cap is very crucial for the battle. So anyways, pop smoke. Probably honestly didn't really need it. Probably could have saved that smoke. That was kind of an error on my part. But this Missouri is being very brazen. He has an enemy Richelieu and a FDG right in front of him. But unfortunately for our FDG, he's going to have a bad time. So yes, this battle comes down very close. While this was all happening, enemy Shimikaze actually comes around the corner to this Minotaur and manages to escape a Minotaur's wrath. Yes. A Shimikaze brought very close to a Minotaur, manages to escape and manages to stay alive. Now, in that few minutes, or actually that second, we lost two battleships, the North Carolina and the FDG, while they did lose the Missouri. Now, we're better yet, our team is doing really good. We do have the ANC cap, but we are obviously down in points. Enemy team is ahead in points, almost 100 points more than us, and now they are starting to capture A. We do have a Gearing and Yu Yang, but they're kind of by themselves, and there is a well, as you can see, there's a Prince Eugen, New Orleans, and there's going to be other ships pushing in as well. So things aren't going to look very hot for them here in a moment. Now, I am obviously playing the good destroyer role, pushing into the B cap and going to try to capture. There is a New Orleans just to the north of us, but honestly, it's a good tactical risk to try to actually take B and try to keep our team ahead, because oh boy, this battle is going to be a interesting one. So I do pop Hydro. Was hoping to maybe spot a enemy DD, but doesn't look like there is an enemy DD around here. Yu Yang is off somewhere, and Shimikaze is currently being hunted down by our Minotaur. We'll see how that works. We have just lost our Gearing, and our friendly Yu Yang is going to go down as well to combined efforts of the enemy team. So we are going to be down 5 ships to their 2. Now our Yamato pushes north, and is going to be experiencing quite a substantial amount of fire from the New Orleans Tirpitz Conqueror, pretty much the entire enemy team. So I'm going to try to assist this Yamato by laying down a shroud of smoke, maybe try to get him out of there into a much better position. So we'll see what we can do, being a good destroyer captain here. See if we can keep him alive a little bit longer, because we definitely need this Conqueror. As you can see, yeah, fire is coming out from the ACAP, and is currently focusing on the Yamato, but I think the Yamato captain is actually somewhat intelligent enough and decides not to open up. Now let's actually talk about the ACAP on Sleeping Giant. The ACAP on Sleeping Giants is very, well, I don't want to say it's extremely formidable to either capture, because you can still shoot between these islands. As you can see, there's quite a bit of opening, so it's not impregnable. It's not likely you're not going to be able to get shots at any of the ships that are currently in the ACAP. So, but pushing into the ACAP while there are ships there is very difficult for the enemy team that decides to push in. However, pushing out of the ACAP is also extremely difficult, especially if the enemy team controls the center, because it does mean that you do have to show a lot of broadside just to get out, and the only other option would be turning more bow in, which does limit the amount of firepower you're able to push out. Now our team's doing a really good job. We are currently all pushing towards the ACAP. Obviously we have B and C, and Minotaur is still trying to find that Shimikaze, but the Shimikaze is definitely a little bit ways away. Let's see. Now we have just lost our Yamato, so things aren't looking so hot. We are down 6 ships. Half our team is dead, and the enemy team have only lost 2 ships. So, things aren't looking so hot, but I do drop torpedoes on the enemy Hindenburg. We'll see if we can get at least a good torpedo hit, and both Lord and Ski get a kill, take out the enemy cruisers that we're starting to push out. And now the enemy team is, obviously, they need to push out because they are down 2 caps to their 1, so they do need to push out. They do need to try to capture B, but it does look like the enemy Yu Yang is currently starting to capture the B cap, and yay, we actually got a torpedo hit, but it's really not going to be that beneficial for us, just due to the fact that he's going to be able to repair the flooding as well as heal up. So we do know that B cap is currently being captured. It does look like the Yu Yang, at least one destroyer actually pulled out of B, which is interesting. But just watch what happens when the enemy team tries to push out of B. Donskoy pulls out. Granted, is trying to pull back north, but he is just going to get focused down. Doesn't have any really good place to go. Eats probably a citadel there from Lord. And can we just finish off this Donskoy? So low in health. And there we go. Lord does get the kill, and Conqueror is now in a slightly terrible positioning. I think he might be actually beached. I don't know. That's actually kind of curious. Don't know if he is currently beached, but it does look like a enemy destroyer is capturing B. Now we're in a position we can actually drop torpedoes, and now we are currently being radared. And it could be probably the New Orleans, because there is still a New Orleans alive, but obviously North Carolina decides to push out, so I go ahead and open up, and we instantly get focused on by the enemy Yu Yang, and we're gonna go ahead and pop our smoke. and lose contact from that enemy Yang. Torpedoes are good on the North Carolina, do get the kill, but we do have some additional torpedoes heading towards the Conqueror. Might be able to get at least a Citadel. And like I said, I really do enjoy the Z46. Z46 I think is a very powerful destroyer, very anti-destroyer, which is very beneficial. We do get 2 torpedoes on the Conqueror. Does get a good hit on our Rune, but is in such a terrible positioning that goes down to Lord by torpedoes. So we actually kind of evened up the score quite rapidly. But at that time, the enemy team has fully captured all 3 caps and is currently focusing down our Roma. So the enemy destroyers are still a major threat to us at the moment. And does look like the enemy Shimikaze did go to sea and did drop torpedoes towards at least my smoke screen. Now, granted, I probably could have pushed into sea, could have focused down the enemy Shimikaze, but I am actually going to try to capture B. Honestly, I probably should just let the cruisers deal with it and try to go for C. Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. That's the thing about it. But we're starting to capture B. Yu Yang is, well, he actually made a very questionable choice here. He actually opened up, which allowed him to be spotted for 20 seconds, and pretty much lost a good half of his health in his attempt to actually shoot Lord, who was trying to escape. But unfortunately for Lord, he is going to go down, and at the moment we are actually being focused on, and unfortunately for Lord, he does eat a torpedo from the enemy Shimikaze. That enemy Shimikaze has been a pain in our side almost this entire match. Now I am obviously pushing over towards B, trying to at least get some torpedo hits, at least try to help out, because there is a Tirpitz, Hindenburg, and New Orleans down south. Roma is doing a really good job. He is currently capturing the A cap. Now this Minotaur, as I did kind of point out earlier, well, he's actually going to play a very crucial role in this battle here in a moment, but we'll see this in a second. So he does go ahead, slow up, pop smoke, and decides to push out. I don't know if he is being spotted by the enemy Shimikaze. I'm going to doubt it, but he's selling out of his smoke, and at the probably is now currently being spotted by the Yu Yang. So wow, he is extremely lucky. Look at that, dodged all those torpedoes. Now the New Orleans was able to dodge my own torpedoes, which was highly unfortunate, because New Orleans is a major ship that I'm really concerned about, and going to try to focus down this New Orleans. Now this Roma, I don't know why he decided to push out of A. He probably should have just stayed in A, because once again, A is a really good cap that would help prevent the enemy team pushing in, but he decides to come out and is currently being focused down by the enemy team. A to Citadel, and torpedoes away, and oh, looky there. We found the enemy Shimikaze. Now I do have to be careful, because his torpedoes are probably reloaded, and we are just going to be proxy spotted. And more than likely torpedoes are coming, and yes, there is, but fortunately I am able to dodge them due to the fact of this island. But it looks like the enemy Shimikaze is actually going to try to get around this island. You cannot allow him to do that, because there's just myself and the Minotaur left. Can we finish off the Shimikaze? There we go. Did switch to HE just to ensure the damage, even though the German HE is quite terrible. But for whatever reason, he does decide to smoke. But we are fortunately actually safely behind the island. Even this New Orleans radar is not going to prove beneficial for him. So At the moment, it's actually very, very close. There is about 4 minutes left on the match. Points are very, very close. Friendly Minotaur actually has made it north behind an island. And honestly, I would say that Minotaur probably could survive this because he actually has a lower detect than the Hindenburg. He also is faster than the Hindenburg, so had the Minotaur possibly, I don't know, pushed northwest or northeast, he might be fine. He might be able to stay away from the Hindenburg. Now, keep in mind, the Hindenburg is actually fairly healthy, obviously, compared to the Minotaur. The Minotaur is only sitting at 4,000 points of health, and we're, well, I mean, we're decently health now. I could probably take on the New Orleans and survive this encounter, but at the moment I'm actually concerned about capping as well as possibly being chased down by the New Orleans, because on the minimap you can see he was last spotted kind of heading east, kind of towards the sea cap. So that's why I'm actually kind of taking a wide route, getting these islands between myself and him. But I don't know. We'll see what this New Orleans decides to do. We don't know if he's gonna come after me, because at the moment we are definitely ahead in points. If they do manage to kill myself or the Minotaur, that is definitely going to help them gain some points back. Now, keep in mind, we were down ships and down points, and as Lord points out in chat, this is tense, and it is tense. This is a very close match. Minotaur, guess, wasn't going fast enough. Hindenburg is able to get around the island and is close enough to actually spot the friendly Minotaur, and oh boy. Well, now Minotaur opens up, and actually kind of very interesting choice. Now, I think the Hindenburg is currently firing AP, and that's kind of the issue with the fact that whenever you see a British cruiser, you always fire AP because their armor is weak, you can get citadels. But I think in that instance, the Hindenburg probably would have done a lot better had he switched over to HE. But he does finally take out the friendly Minotaur, and we do know that where the New Orleans is, he's actually currently capturing A. And at the time, I'm just now getting into B, and there's about a little bit more than a minute. Now, had this New Orleans decided to push south, this game probably would have went differently. Actually, we do spot the New Orleans sitting at 1,000 points of health, and obviously I have to do this. I have to open up. We're not going to win on points, so I do open up on this New Orleans with AP, switch over to HE, just to possibly get either a final blow. Can we get the kill? Oh my gosh, so close. We have to take him out. And there we go. Got the kill on the New Orleans. That has pushed us ahead in points, and we are currently capturing B, and the Hindenburg is too far away to actually spot us or even offer additional fire. So with 20 seconds left on clock, we're actually going to win this. Very close game, very exciting game. And one little side note is the fact of my damage. As you can see, as the clock is counting down, you can see 61,000 points of damage was occurred during this battle. But in the victory screen, as you will see in just a moment, Wargaming cheated me on the amount of damage I did. It said 60,999. I lost a point of damage. I have no idea why, but Wargaming, you cheated me on 1 point of damage. But anyways, this is actually going to be it for this episode of Funday Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.